November 7, 2017 John Dennen November 7, 2017 John Dennen latest details on the George Groves vs. Chris Eubank Jr. World Boxing Super Series semifinal. John Dennen reports latest details on the George Groves vs. Chris Eubank Jr. World Boxing Super Series semifinal. John Dennen reports action. Image Andrew Coldridge. Don't miss any action. Sign up for the free BN newsletters here. The World Boxing Super Series tournament has set up a range of high-caliber semifinals. They will all take place within the first 2 months of 2018, with George Groves vs. Chris Eubank Jr. the highlight. WBA super middleweight world champion George Groves will meet Chris Eubank Jr. in either London or Manchester. This fight will take place in February. There are quality boxing venues in those cities, the O2 in Greenwich and the Manchester Arena, which seat about 20,000. But there had been hopes that this fight would take place in an open-air stadium. That, however, is problematic for the time of year. Callum Smith fights Jurgen Bremer in the other super middleweight semifinal. This could take place before or after Groves Eubank, though not earlier than January 27. That decision on the timing depends on whether it will also be broadcast on ITV Box Office pay-per-view. Smith-Bremer could be headed to Berlin. We've got a few options. The issue is putting them in the right order, Kalle Sauerland, the chief boxing officer for the World Boxing Super Series, told Boxing News. Eubank or Groves Manchester or London, Smith-Bremer likely for Berlin. I can't see that both semis will be in the north of England if one's in Manchester. There's the football stadium idea, but it's really tricky in the season. It really is tricky in the season, he explained. I think certain people will moan and groan, people will be excited about it, but ultimately everyone will still go. It's one of those ones. All the semifinals, for both cruiserweight and super middleweight, will however take place at some point between January 13 and February 24. At cruiserweight, Alexander Usyk fights Miris Briedis in a WBO and WBC world title unification. That could take place in Riga, Kiev or Chicago. For the IBF and WBA titles, Junior Dorticos boxes Murat Gassiev, either in Miami or Russia. Sauerland confirmed, the dates are everything between January 13 and the last weekend of February. We're looking at every single weekend at the moment. The only one we're not looking at is January 6. The supermids, the earliest will be last weekend of January. Eubank or Groves definitely in February. Read more articles by John Dennen.